Hey, in this video, we'll be going over the music of Guardian's Guide. Before I even begun actively working on this game, I knew I wanted a strong soundtrack that reflected the type of world I was trying to build. So fairly early in the development, I looked for a composer I believe would be able to properly idealize my vision. Luckily, I didn't have to look for very long. I came across Jonathan's portfolio and immediately knew I found who I was looking for. Over the course of several months, he was able to provide me with many amazing tracks. I can't thank him enough for working with me on this project, even though I didn't have much to show for it at the time of contacting him. While I would love to go over every single track in this video, I decided to only pick the select few that I felt reflected the core vision of this game, as well as some that are my personal favorites. What you're listening to now is the main theme of the game. Many other tracks in this game reference this theme, so you'll hear it come up many times. From this point forward, I'll let Jonathan tell you about each track, while also giving you a brief sample without any commentary. I hope you enjoy.
The very first track we worked on. This established the various melodic motifs to be used throughout the soundtrack, as well as the direction for instrumentation, notably recorders. The track begins small and gradually grows to a larger orchestra, growth being a large aspect of this soundtrack. Another early track. Here we wanted a softer, passive church theme that felt safe. Choir and organ is a wonderful combination to achieve this, alongside distant church bells, here tubular bells. Also, forgive my tenor singing. The second track we tackled, and arguably the most important, this is the music you will hear for most of the game. As such, it needed to be varied so that it did not become too repetitious over long sessions as the in-game years continued. We came upon the idea of having the track grow alongside your daughter as you progress throughout the game, which resulted in 3 variations that grow in instrumentation. This complements the growth theme of the game wonderfully, as well as providing additional variation so the player does not tire of the track, I hope. This jolly little theme was intended for use when shopping and talking with people in the city. It features the return of the recorder, a characteristic instrument for this soundtrack, accompanied by string pizzicatos. A passage of wind solos breathes life into a smoother legato section, where the harp also returns as a solo instrument. A late addition, this track complements a farm where you train your monster companions. The direction was something calm and laid back, as such going for pastoral strings with solo guitar, one of my rare live guitar performances. Guitarists, forgive me. Originally, we weren't going to have an original track for this, but ultimately it was decided that special shopping areas will have their own upbeat little theme. Hence, this 30-second nugget of positivity was born. One of the two dungeon themes. We decided early on to create two versions of each dungeon theme, a calm base with a more intense variation. This allowed us to pivot seamlessly between the two variations depending on the state of the dungeon. I hope music enthusiasts enjoy the many tritone cadences in this one. The default combat track presented largely with an ensemble of strings and solo violin driven by a drum kit. The use of the recorder instrument alludes to the title theme. Deft listeners may also spot the change of meter. a tragic theme for use during emotional scenes. Utilising the second melodic motif of the game, I couldn't resist the combination of soft piano with strings. The concluding interlude alludes to the final boss theme with the use of glass harmonica. The boss theme for Guardian's Guide. I didn't really have a description to go with here, so I just went all out with epic combat-y music, incorporating the melodic motifs in various forms, complete with stretto. The climax brings back the recorder, the main instrument for this soundtrack, doubled with a soprano soloist for one glorious final statement of the motif.
And those are all of the tracks I will be showing in this video. Again, there are some other tracks I wanted to include, but I didn't want this video to be too long. You'll just have to play the final game once it's released. Speaking of release, it shouldn't be too long before I have a date for you guys. At the time of making this video, I am testing the game from start to finish. Once I feel the game is fully functional, I'll be able to give you guys an official release date. This will most likely be my final pre-release development video for Guardian's Guide. The next video you can expect will be the release date video. I've been working extremely hard on finishing this game, and I plan to keep up the effort until the game is done and ready for release. Until then, just stay well everyone.